Starting off as a sub-faction of the Bullet Club, the Elite went on to become the pillars on which all Elite Wrestling was built. The group consists of AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, former AEW World Tag Champions the Young Bucks, as well as the Good Brothers and their newest addition Adam Cole. Not to forget Brandon Cutler, Don Callis, and Michael Nakazawa. Since the debut of Adam Cole in AEW, joining the Elite in the process, fans have wondered who could be next as the stable goes from strength to strength. So in today's video, let's look at 10 wrestlers who are perfect for the Elite. We're starting off with 3 members of another well-known stable, the Undisputed Era. The group consisted of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong, and were without doubt the most dominant faction in NXT history, at one point holding all of NXT's male titles. With their leader Adam Cole joining the Elite at All Out, O'Reilly, Fish, or Strong would feel at home if they were to follow him to AEW at some point in the future. The reunion would be slightly awkward at first, considering Adam Cole betrayed the Undisputed Era earlier this year. However, there is no real-life heat between the stablemates, as Adam Cole did agree to sign a short-term extension with WWE to allow him to put O'Reilly over at NXT TakeOver 36 before his WWE departure. This a clear sign of their friendship. Although Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong are still under WWE contract, Bobby Fish is currently open for bookings and could join AEW at any time. That's depending on the nature of his upcoming appearance in the MLW Opera Cup. Considering the recent flood of releases WWE has made, as well as the upcoming reboot of NXT, it's possible Strong and O'Reilly don't fit the Vince McMahon mold, which could lead to their release from the company as the black and gold brand heads in a new direction. As of this recording, O'Reilly is set to take part in an NXT title match tonight, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how that one goes. Having recently been crowned the inaugural IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Kota Ibushi has cemented himself as one of New Japan Pro-Wrestling's top stars. Although he is not currently a member of the Elite, Ibushi has a long history with its members. In 2009, he first teamed up with Kenny Omega to form the Golden Lovers, and since then the two have been very close, with even rumors of them being real-life partners, which would explain the Lovers part of their tag team name. Ibushi was also temporarily made a member of the subgroup the Golden Elite, competing at All In a team with the Young Bucks in the main event of the pay-per-view. Ever since AEW opened the Forbidden Door, fans have been clamoring to see Ibushi debut in AEW to show Kenny Omega the error of his ways. Ibushi could first join the Elite as a babyface, talking some sense into Kenny, eventually convincing Omega to leave the stable. This would allow a new leader to take his place, but who could be his replacement? Well, we'll get to that bit later on in the video. AEW's first contracted female wrestler, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, has found immense success in the promotion despite a rocky start. Following a heel turn when things weren't going to plan as a babyface, she proved herself as the total package, entertaining fans with her natural charisma and wowing them with her in-ring talent. She would go on to take part in Dynamite's first ever women's main event in a lights out match against Thunder Rosa, and although she lost, it was regarded as the best women's match in AEW history, cementing herself in AEW folklore. After defeating Hikaru Shida at Double or Nothing 2021 for the AEW Women's World title, Britt took her rightful place at the top of the AEW Women's division. Britt's real-life boyfriend Adam Cole is of course already a member of the Elite, and mentioned Britt during his first promo on AEW Dynamite. An on-screen interaction between the two is bound to happen at some point, which may open the door for Britt Baker to become the second ever female associate of the Elite, adding more gold to the group as she does so. One of the most well-known former members of the Elite, Cody Rhodes, was one of the men that put the Elite into All Elite Wrestling. Since then, Cody has distanced himself from the group, forming his own stable, the Nightmare Family. Cody also stepped away from the Being the Elite YouTube show, which has resulted in rumors surfacing that there is some real-life backstage heat between himself and the rest of his fellow EVPs. Despite this, Cody has remained a key part of AEW and continues to be the bridge between the mid-card and the main event, elevating talent to the next level. It seems Cody could be set for a heel turn at some point in the future, after a leaked image of a Nightmare Family logo on fire could mean that the stable is about to end. Cody is engaged in a feud with Malachi Black right now, which could force him to embrace his dark side. A heel Cody would allow him to rejoin the Elite, becoming the true American Nightmare once again. Kevin Owens was one of the biggest names on the independent circuit before joining WWE in 2014. Kevin's WWE contract is said to be expiring in January, and he has fueled speculation that he is set to jump to AEW. Kevin has posted references to the Mount Rushmore stable that he was part of in PWG along with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, which seems to be teasing that he will be joining them in the Elite when he gets the opportunity. Kevin is of course known for his long-term storyline with Chris Jericho in WWE. The two had great chemistry together, and Kevin might be eager to work with Jericho one more time, either as an ally or an enemy, or both. Although joining Jericho's inner circle wouldn't be disappointing at all, he would also be welcomed as the newest member of the Elite, but I wouldn't expect this to last too long. Steen works best when positioned as a lone wolf, meaning his membership could end abruptly as he turns on his stablemates to position himself as a rebellious face in AEW's main event scene. The indie darling El Generico retired from wrestling in 2013, opting to head back to Mexico to open an orphanage. And all jokes aside, before his days in WWE, Sami Zayn found huge success with his El Generico persona. The character would eventually be put on the shelf when he joined NXT, losing the iconic mask whilst adopting the name of Sami Zayn, the underdog from the underground. Sami has proven himself in WWE as a great in-ring performer with promo skills to match, however he has yet to win a major title in the promotion, with many feeling that he has been underutilized, hitting the mid-card ceiling. Reports state that Sami's WWE contract will expire before the end of 2021, which has led many to speculate on his future with the promotion. If Sami does decide to join AEW, we may get to see him put on the mask once more. Although a babyface character seems like an odd choice for the Elite, AEW could use his position as the group's lackey who gets bossed around by the company's EVPs, re-establishing him as a sympathetic babyface, once again becoming the ultimate underdog. This would build up anticipation for him to say enough is enough, leading to him fighting back for a huge pop from the AEW crowd. And quickly, just before we continue, make sure you drop a like on the video as it helps me out a lot, and make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any upcoming wrestling content as we head, hopefully, towards 100,000 subscribers. But now, let's press play on the video. It was AJ Styles' departure from New Japan Pro-Wrestling that signaled the formation of the Elite, as he was super kicked out of the group to establish the new leader of the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega. Shortly after this, Styles made his debut in WWE at Royal Rumble 2016, bypassing NXT to become an instant main roster hit. After defeating the likes of John Cena, Styles won the WWE title just 9 months after debuting. Widely regarded as the best wrestler in the world even before his WWE career, AEW is the new home of the Dream Match, and can you imagine what would be in store for AJ Styles if he were to make the jump at some point in the future? If he does so, a clash between himself and Kenny Omega would be inevitable, with Styles getting his revenge by taking his place as the new leader of the Elite, a mirror of 2016. Let's not forget that current Elite members the Good Brothers have a long history with Styles, who would no doubt choose him over Omega if given the choice. Unfortunately though, this scenario does seem unlikely, as AJ Styles is set to be under WWE contract for the foreseeable future and has stated that he may end his in-ring career there. However, recent history has shown that anything is possible, so perhaps the Elite will become phenomenal someday. Formerly known as Prince Devitt, Finn Balor was the founding member and the first ever leader of the Bullet Club. After leaving New Japan for WWE in 2014, Balor went on to become the first ever Universal Champion. After a short return to NXT, he is back on the main roster in the main event scene of SmackDown, as he continues to establish himself as a true star. Although it is not known when his WWE deal will expire, recent comments from the Real Rock and Roller have suggested that he may be willing to jump ship if given the opportunity. In a recent interview with Cultaholic, Finn stated that he finds the concept of the Forbidden Door very interesting and said he'd love to have the freedom to work in Japan, Mexico, and Europe. This temptation is what led to the WWE departure of Bryan Danielson, and perhaps Balor could follow suit. At the time, Daniel Bryan joining AEW seemed just as impossible. Devitt does have a long history with the members of the Elite, and if he can find forgiveness for the way the Young Bucks super kicked him out of New Japan and the Bullet Club, he'd be the perfect candidate to take over the leadership of the faction. That's if Kenny Omega was persuaded by KOTA IBUSHI to see the light. And before you go, make sure you check out my updated list where I discuss the top 10 AEW debuts of all time.